I'm glad that you stuck to the time so that we can have a whole lot of discussion later. And I'm also glad that you walked the audience through the various stages of your life. When you made money for others, then you made money for yourself, and now you have others making money for you. So glad that you've done all these three stages of life. Okay. Uh, Next, I have Nitin, CEO of Ketone Technologies. He again has been a serial entrepreneur. So there are three companies. This is his third company. Also, he's addressing the entire market from a software side of the business. So we'll come to the harder issues later, but we'll start with the soft issues. Over to you, Nitin.
Thank you. Thank you, ISA, and thank you, Pradeep. Come from a very interesting background, more from the software side. Uh, I've been in the Valley for the last 20 years and spent most of the time in building the companies. Before going to the Valley, I had gone through some, research experience, one of the reputed name TIFR, and also worked for a couple of years, which was the beginning of, so-called development center back in Bombay in SIPS. I'm going to focus more on the topic, how to foster the innovation. And I'll cover both sides. Hemant has covered the investor side. I came from more from building the companies and what it takes to build the companies, right? It's very important to create the right ecosystem to really enable entrepreneurs to foster the innovation. I don't want to spend too much time on my current company, which is a company called Ketone, focusing on asset tracking. The reason I put a couple of slides there because it somehow touches a very unique model, how software companies and hardware companies are working together. The whole business model is translated leveraging hardware and software. If you look at how the industry is evolving, right, every 10 years we are reorganizing the models because of the innovation. We're focusing on lots of industries because the applications are limitless and it's an evolving technology. We're dealing with GPS, sensors, software, and things like that. I just want to spend 2 minutes. I think we all know this, what innovation can do, right? But since it is a topic of a discussion, for any economy, let it be India or any region for that matter, without having innovation, right, we cannot foster the growth. It's very critical. We got to think at least 10 years beyond and think about what needs to be done. Any part of our life today is driven by technology. So much has changed in last 10 years. Think about Google buying Motorola, right? It's a pure software company taking over the hardware company, right? So what I'm trying to suggest here is there's an innovation happening at multiple fronts. It's not only hardware or software, right? It's at the model level. And you need to innovate constantly because if you don't innovate, you don't have tools to globally compete. Today, when you think about business, you cannot think about a region. So when you think about the IP and how to take that IP in the market, you got to think about the global model, global footprint, and what it takes to build that. So for any innovation, the key thing is entrepreneur. If you don't have entrepreneur, right, innovations probably will not happen. There is so much government can do or the industry can do, but if you want to innovate and launch something new, which is a product, technology, or process, it is somebody who thinks about crazy idea. And most of the time, people will say, they don't know anything. Or he's trying something, which is not logically, explainable. And so we have to create the ecosystem which will really allow an entrepreneur to, do something about it. I'm going to focus on few slides, covering more specific about what it takes to build a company. I come from a software background, but have a double background, and I think the formula remains same if you're starting a new company. So you need a culture or an environment where entrepreneurs feels he can do something about it. It's very important to have that culture as a society, as a region, so they can get a lot of support in terms of their ideas or at least perspective that can be done or cannot be done. These guys need to really figure out from the market, or focus on a particular problem statement that I can change this, I can solve this problem. And that is the route to say I can build a company or create a startup. And most important thing is the marketplace, right? If you think about as an entrepreneur, I want to launch a product or create something new. If the market doesn't support, it's very hard for the entrepreneur to sustain or sell something or innovate, because any innovation takes some time. It's not overnight. So even the market has to support that. And then every market requires a unique business model. So these are like few fundamentals which are essential for entrepreneur to launch a company or to create a new technology or a new product. I've gone through 3 companies, or probably more than 3 companies. This was like almost my first venture. I went to the Valley in '93 and started my first company in '96. I had absolutely no experience of creating a company, right? I'm raising a few points here and we'll try to connect those dots. And if you look at that, right, what I learned back is the reason we could do that company there is it was the right place at the right time. So you have the right technology vision, but it was the right place which will support new ideas, and you can create the product which market will accept. So I did not raise the money, and it was all bootstrap. So I'm just trying to cover some aspect, from the funding point of view. How do you approach people like Hemant to convince them, fund my company? The second company, I raised substantial money, $30-40 million. It was a technology vision, trying to really innovate in terms of how the next platform should come in the market, right? At that point, we had experience, we had a knowledge, we had a know-how, and we also understood how to raise the money. It is also critical that at what point you raise the money, because as an entrepreneur, most of the time, they may not have the experience in terms of how to raise the money. You might have the great idea, but how to package that idea, how to create the right business model, how to create the valuation, and how to position that. And they struggle going through that cycle in terms of convincing the investor that I need the money. And it also depends on the stage, when to raise the money. Because many times raising money ahead of time is also problematic, because if you don't time it well, then the people who put the money, they believe that, oh, it's not happening, right? So these are some interesting challenges, and you got to get the right mentoring, people who have gone through it and who can help you, saying that, okay, the idea is great, but the model is not great, the timing is not correct. Figure out the right way to transform that innovative idea into business to make money. So what I'm trying to say here, in the second company, we had the experience, we had the know-how, and the market was there, so we could convince the investor to get the money. This is my current company. We didn't raise the money because we were dealing with a technology which was completely new. It was not mature. Our whole game depends on the evolution of the hardware and the timing of the market, right? So again, you got to have perseverance, you got to believe in your idea, and figure out what is the right time to get the money. So we just got money recently, but it's called as a late growth capital actually. So it's not a VC money or angel money, but more like you're trying to get money after proving the model, saying that, okay, this is happening now. When I look at the Indian market right now, I have lots of friends in the PE side or the VC side or the angel side. Even I tried investing in the money. The challenge here is because the overall ecosystem is still not evolved. So the problem is, yes, the money is available, right? But they are not very risk-taking. They want to put the money in the companies, but since the ecosystem is not evolved, they're also very careful in terms of, okay, should I put or not? So what it boils to is the entrepreneur doesn't get the capital in the beginning, or he has to figure out a way to prove the point that this can be done. Let it be hardware, let it be software, doesn't matter. So it is still like, there are VCs, but I would still say they're not completely risk-taking like a Valley, where we say, here is the idea, I don't have anything right now, and I want to start a business, you can still get the money there. Here, it is still like, okay, let them go through some customers. But the challenge is, if you are launching an innovative product here, the market doesn't have early adopters. Because the whole environment is, let me try it late, not first. So if you think about it as an entrepreneur, you're struggling on both sides. I can't prove it, and I can't get money. I mean, it's not true for everybody, but that is the overall environment. So you got to change that ecosystem. So I'm just trying to raise some points which are very critical for entrepreneurs to succeed. But the things are, definitely getting positive. You're saying more capital is coming, and it might change over a period of time. You got to start somewhere, and it's started now. Now, the second aspect is, you need to build a team which can build the product. If you look at the last 20 years here, I mean, I remember doing my first job for a service company here, right? We have a lot of fundamental research, a lot of initiatives, and lots of companies. But the whole environment or the mindset is of service oriented. So people get used to do services, right? You might have innovation on the services model, trying to optimize the process so you can increase the margins. But the net result is the creativity gets suppressed, or the creativity doesn't get channelized in the product fashion. So most of the companies are not creating expertise which are really required for the product company. As Hemant said, you need a core team, right, who really understand that here is a problem statement, and how do I convert that problem statement into a product? The skill set available today is, if you define precisely, okay, I want this kind of product, people are very talented, there's a diversity, there's a creativity, it can be delivered.